Many thanks for watching Breakfast Central today, Thursday, the 22nd of July, 2021. Let's go straight to big stories in Nigeria. Now, gunmen dressed in military camouflage early yesterday stormed the Bayelsa State residence of Bettina Benson and kidnapped her and to an unknown destination. Now, the victim is the mother of Kombewi Benson, who is the secretary to the Bayelsa State government, and she's aged. We'll confirm that one for you on the program. While now 80. Now, while confirming the incident, the Bayelsa State Police Command, in a statement signed by the spokesperson, that's Asinim Buswat, said some of these suspects have been arrested and a manhunt for the rescue of Madame Bettina Benson and arrest of the remaining suspects.
Now, the statement added that the Commissioner of Police in Bayelsa State Command, in the person of Michael Colley, and other detectives have visited the scene and investigation is in progress. Joining us this morning on this crucial topic in terms of discussing ways to reducing the risk of kidnapping in Nigeria is security expert Dennis Amakri. Good morning, Dennis. Right,
Good morning. Good morning.
Well, Mr. Dennis, now the issue of kidnapping, banditry, and other forms of crimes seem to be turning into a norm in Nigeria, and the authorities seem not to be doing anything to counter the trend. How would you react to this?
Well, I think kidnapping has been with us for more than a decade now, or 2 decades, and we are still trying to solve it the same way that we used to solve it when somebody is kidnapped. Just like yesterday, the lady that was kidnapped in Bayelsa, everybody will put their hands on their head and say, oh, they've kidnapped her, what are we going to do, But the important thing now is for us to find solutions to it. We know that the police is thinly spread and they cannot handle this thing all by themselves. So the society should get involved in what we will call an all-society approach in solving this kidnap issue. So we have to get everybody involved, the community, the people, the school children, everybody. We can have meetings in our streets, in our estates, to organize ourselves, either create vigilantes, and then, of course, make sure that we don't give these kidnappers a chance to just do whatever they want to do, because kidnapping is an easy thing to do, and the money they get from it is very, very high. So make it difficult for them to just go through it. And I think the society will have a little respite.
All right, Mr. Makri. Now, Bayelsa has seen a surge in the activities of gunmen in recent years. Let's go through some of the most recent ones of late. We can have that on the screen right about now. Back in 2020 in Bayelsa State, which is in the south of Nigeria, a police officer was shot dead while trying to prevent an attack at the residence of Sirake Dixon, who is the former governor of Bayelsa State in the Sagbama LGA local government area of the state.
Now, in 2019, gunmen also attacked a security post within the country's home of former President Goodluck Jonathan at Okwote, Ogbia local government area of Bayelsa State. Looking at this situation, we can see that there's been a trend of insecurity, and especially when it comes to gunmen and kidnapping. Also, in 2019, Odessa, I believe we have another scenario.
Yes, this time it was the abduction of the mother of former Super Eagles coach that was quite popular, Samson Siasi, at a residence in the Adoni community. That's also in Sagbama, local government area of the state, still also in Bayelsa.
Now, Mr. Makri, looking at Bayelsa and looking at this particular case, because it's not the first time that this is happening. I mean, in terms of kidnapping of Madame Bettina, she was also kidnapped in 2013, January 13 of 2013, where she was kidnapped and she was later released. Now, is Bayelsa State getting to that point where kidnapping becomes the order of the day? Is this likely, is it also due to, is it quite similar to what has been happening in Kaduna State? Bearing in mind that these people who have been kidnapping, they have military camouflage. They seem to have access to certain things that would make anybody perceive them as security operatives rather than being kidnappers.
Anyway, I will take you back to 2006. 2006, that's the height of the militancy in the Niger Delta. And during that period, there was a lot of kidnapping by militants, Niger Delta militants. And their motive at that time was to kidnap people, hold them for a while, make press statements, and draw the attention of the world to what is happening in the Niger Delta. Later, they started, taking money, and that's where ransom comes into it. And as ransom comes into it, they were now targeting British and Americans, high net worth Nigerians, and then collecting money. And then, of course, from the Niger Delta, it extended into the mainland. Southeastern states, especially Abia, became very, very hot for kidnapping. It moved all the way down to the west, southwest, and across, where now bandits have now used it as a way of financing terrorism. Now, when you look at the Bayelsa case, you will find out that most of the people that are being kidnapped now or before were high net worth individuals. High net worth in the sense that, of course, the former president, former governor, mother of a footballer, all was designed to just get money, ransom. Because you can find out that Bayelsa especially is a state where they are living, in poverty in the middle of riches. There's a lot of riches. Nigeria is financing itself through the oil that comes out from Bayelsa. But when you go down there, you see the squalor. People cannot even have water to drink. And I think that is generating it. And that's why we're saying that government should pay special attention, especially to the Niger Delta, because we are now worried about bandits and the Boko Haram and stuff like that. When the Niger Delta people start their own, it is going to be really bad, because the reason for the amnesty and the things they follow up on the amnesty has been abandoned.
Now, Dennis Amakri, before we let you go, what can the average citizen do? Because you touched on it a bit about having societal approach to this, because our security operatives cannot just handle this. You talk about the Niger Delta, kidnapping and kidnapping. In the north, you have banditry and gunmen. So where do the citizens go from here? What do we do now?
Right now, citizens, Nigerian citizens, like I said, should also know that they should not be sitting ducks. They cannot sit down and wait for people to come and kidnap them. So what do? You have to be situationally aware, security conscious. That means you should, wherever you find yourself, try to find out, ask yourself, is it right for me to be here? Is it right for me to be here? Always know where you are. Try to make sure, even when you are driving your car, don't just drive like that because the road is good or whatever. Look around you. Look behind you. What we call 360 degrees of driving. Look by your side, in front of you, behind you, and you should be able to recognize cars that have been following you for a while. Because if you are a target, you will know that kidnapping just don't happen like that. Opportunistic kidnapping is very small, but targeted kidnapping is one that they will actually follow you, understand you, know where you go when you close from work, which route you follow to work, to your house. And then, of course, whether you stop by the way before you get home, they will study all this, the schools that your children go to. And when they know all these things, then they strike. Right. If you are very situationally aware, you will see them. You will definitely see them, because when you see a car or a particular set of people always standing and watching you everywhere you go, then you should know that you're a target. Right. So be security aware in whatever you do.
Right. Dennis, thank you. I wish I had more time because Bayelsa is quite a small state where almost everybody knows everybody, and almost everybody knows when there's a strange face in Bayelsa State. I have so many people who are living there. But thank you so much for coming on Breakfast Central today, political analyst and security expert Dennis Amakri.
Thank you for
and all the way from Texas this morning. I believe it's about 2 a.m.
Right.
past. So thank you.
It's 2:15 right now. Thank you.
Thank you so much.